Hi, today I want to share the difference between editing, suggesting, and viewing when you're collaborating on a Google document. The first thing you need to do is go to your Google Drive. And typically, when we're thinking about collaborating on a Google document, we're looking at things that have been shared with me. So on the left side, you're going to isolate those documents that have been shared with you by clicking on the Shared With Me icon, and you'll be filtered in to the ones that have been shared with you. I used my personal Gmail account to share a document to use for this demo. So here it is, suggesting versus editing, and I'm going to open that document. I'm not the owner of this document, but it has been shared with me and I've been given editing privileges, which means that I could go in here and just make changes. But maybe this is the sort of document where I don't necessarily want to make changes to the document. Perhaps I just want to make suggestions. So if you look in the upper right corner of your drive, of your doc window, you'll see the pencil that shows editing. And if you scroll over it, you'll see that it is actually a dropdown, which you can then change to suggestions. And this is really useful if you're not certain of what you're changing, or you want the owner of the document or your collaborators to be aware of the changes that you're making. And you're giving them the option to actually accept the changes or reject them. So I'm going to switch to suggesting mode. And I can see now that I'm in suggesting mode, and I'm going to make some changes. So let's say that I just want to get rid of this entire sentence. I've highlighted it. I'm going to press backspace, and it doesn't actually remove it. What it does now is it says over in the margin where ordinarily a comment would go that this is what I did. I deleted this. I can even explain why. I feel this sentence is unnecessary. And I can even explain why I'm making that change. And here, it can be accepted with the check mark or rejected. So I could make other changes, little things. I could, maybe this is a proper noun and I feel like that should be a capital U. Perhaps I want to replace that word with, use a better word here. So it shows all along the margins what it is that I have suggested. And so I'm not actually making these as permanent changes. Now the owner of the document, in this case, myself in my personal mode, as I've switched to here, sees these changes and can go through and accept some, but maybe reject others. And so in this way, when you are collaborating with a colleague, switching back and forth between editing and suggesting adds an extra layer to the conversation digitally. And just one further note, you can switch also to only viewing. If you are working with the document, you don't want to accidentally make a change, you can switch to viewing to protect it that way. So again, when a document has been shared with you, look over in the upper right corner and look for the mode that you're in. You can switch from editing to suggesting to viewing. And this is also something useful to perhaps share with students if they're collaborating in a document. Perhaps they should always go into suggesting mode, and that also gives you the ability to look at the suggestions they're making to one another and to view their comments as well. So I hope this was helpful.